Hi, my name is Supreet and this is my project. The inquiry question for this project is, what are ways that the leftover food from restaurants can be made accessible for low-income families that cannot afford to make fresh meals every day? Now I'll be moving on to talk about food security. The definition of food security is a condition in which all people at all times have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food to meet their dietary needs and food preferences for an active lifestyle. So now I'll be moving on to the opposite, which is food insecurity. The definition of food insecurity is the state of being without reliable access to sufficient quantity of affordable, nutritious food. So in this graphic, you can see that in 2006, every 131 children out of 1,000 under the age of 5 are severely malnourished, while in 2010, that number has reduced to 122 out of 1,000. So 8% of Canadian adults and 5% of Canadian children have lived in food insecure households. Between 2001 and 2012, 8.3% of Canadian households experience food insecurity. 1 in 8 Canadian households do not have enough money to buy safe and nutritious food. Between 2011 and 2012, households with government benefits had food insecurity rates of 21.4%, and households with an alternate main source of income had a rate of 6.1%. Now I'll be talking about food wastage. So roughly 1/3 of the food produced in the world for human consumption every year, so that's approximately 1.3 billion tons, gets lost or wasted. So this graph shows that the highest per capita food losses and waste can be seen in the North American and Oceania regions at nearly 300 kg per year. It has been said that even if just 1/4 of the food currently lost or wasted globally could be saved, it would be enough to feed 870 million hungry people in the world. So the 3 points that I will be talking about in this presentation are accessibility, economy, and environment. For accessibility, it can be said that each month, over 850,000 people turn to food banks for help, and more than 1/3 of those are children and youth. 1 in every 6 people who visit the food banks are actually employed. A 2013 study conducted by Business for Social Responsibility indicated that more than 84% of the food waste generated by U.S. restaurants ends up in landfill. Only 1.4% was donated, while 14.3% was recycled. On average, that translates to 15.7% food loss across the industry, or 3.3 pounds of food waste per people are never consumed. 198 hectares are used to produce food we never eat. So that's about the size of Mexico. And $1,600 worth of food is thrown away per year by the average family. So now onto the environment. When people toss food, all the resources to grow, ship, and produce it get chucked too, including massive volumes of water. In the US alone, the amount of water lost from food waste is like leaving the tap running and pouring 40 trillion liters of water down the drain. It can be seen that the environmental impact from the food wastage of one person in North America and Europe equals to be the average food requirement for one person, 40,000 1.5 liters bottles of water, and 2 basketball courts worth of land. So the method that I will use to collect data from my survey will be to go and survey the restaurant manager and the cook to see what the food wastage is like in that restaurant. Survey questions. So what happens to the food which is left over at the end of the day? How much food is normally left over at the end of the day? Have you ever thought about donating this food to a local soup kitchen or food bank? And if not, why? And what are the measures that have been put in place to reduce food waste? The predicted outcome that I feel will occur is that the major food restaurant chains will waste the most amounts of food. So the campaign outline for this project will be that I will be using a video that will show restaurant owners and cooks and everyone who works there that it's more beneficial to donate the food that they have to a local charity than it is to throw it out where they're hurting the economy and everything. Mark Boyle once said, that if we grew our own food, we wouldn't waste 1/3 of it as we do today.
Created using Powtoon.